hapo katikati akagoma kuja katika baraza la mawaziri. Sasa mimi nataka nikuulize wewe, ni mimi nimemfuta kazi ama ni yeye alijivuta kazi?
I think William Ruto is a person with two personalities. The William Ruto that presents himself to the public is a completely different character from the one that sits behind in the office and crafts stuff.
Justin Muturi, a name synonymous with Kenyan politics, finds himself at the heart of a storm. The former Speaker of the National Assembly and one-time close ally of President William Ruto has made explosive allegations against his former comrade. Muturi's accusations paint a picture of a leader operating under a shroud of secrecy, allegedly engaging in shady financial dealings. These claims, aired during a candid interview on NTV's Fixing the Nation, have sent shockwaves through Kenya's political landscape.
He's quite a dangerous character. I think William Ruto is actually unfit for the position of President of the Republic of Kenya. I have come sadly to that conclusion. And I have no bitterness. For me, I just feel my own assessment. When I watch William Ruto sometimes talking to members of cabinet, and to see him say, I do not want to see corruption in my government. Then I start wondering, who is this talking? And I'm sure we will have occasion to discuss a lot.
Is he corrupt?
Who?
William Ruto.
I think, I don't know.
But if you see him talking about corruption, you're like, who is this talking about corruption? Is it because he's corrupt?
I have so many examples.
Not an example, but is he corrupt? Examples aside.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very. Yes, irredeemably.
Okay.
Corrupt.
One example you can walk us through. I know you've told us that there's many. Just a.
I don't want to give you the obvious ones about the Adanis, because I have some background about it. He's the one who was clearly behind it. And I know this because when his advisor, Adan Mohammed, invited me to attend the COP28 in Dubai in 2023, he gave me a lot of information which ended up with the Adani deal about the airport specifically. Okay. Even during that same time, some Russian oligarchs who had offered to invest $1 billion here in Kenya. And again, it came from Adan Mohammed. In fact, I have even staff telling me that an NGO, I go and check. If there's no, I said the NGO council says we don't have any such company.
No such thing is registered.
Then, on the day we were coming from India, after that COP28, we flew to India for state visit, blah, blah. I am landing on my way back because Guru, this guy of Defki, I see Ruto around him. It's one of the Guptas. When Guru told me during breakfast on the day we were leaving Delhi, that that plane of the president is not good. I've chatted another one for him as we are going direct, get an executive jet. I've gotten him. So I land in Dubai. Ruto is calling me. Those people, those Russians want you. They are there. They're in Dubai. They are waiting. You sign things. I said, I'm just at the airport and I'm on transit. I am not leaving the airport.
Right.
He said, no, but they are there. Your people, your staff have already worked on the document. I said, no, I will need to go and review it in office.
Muturi is no stranger to the inner workings of government. Having served as the Public Service Cabinet Secretary under President Ruto, he had a front-row seat to the machinery of power. His position afforded him access to sensitive information and a deep understanding of the government's financial operations. This makes his allegations all the more potent, carrying the weight of someone who was privy to the inner circle. The interview saw Muturi shed his usually reserved demeanor, adopting a no-holds-barred approach as he detailed his experiences. He didn't mince words, directly accusing President Ruto of being irredeemably corrupt. This was not a case of political maneuvering or subtle jabs. It was a full-blown exposé from a man who claims to have witnessed the rot within. Muturi's decision to speak out regardless of the potential repercussions has thrust him into the spotlight. He has positioned himself as a whistleblower, a lone voice willing to challenge the status quo. Whether his allegations will lead to concrete action or fade into the background noise of Kenyan politics remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: Justin Muturi's revelations have ignited a firestorm that will be difficult to extinguish.
This document being the deal.
The deal. They were purporting to give a grant of $1 billion to grow allegedly 3 billion trees towards the 15 billion. You know, William Ruto, whenever he comes up with a program, it's for money making. For him, it's for money making. Now, I come and tell them, you know, they bring me an MOU. I tell them, and I remember I spoke about the MOUs.
Yes.
I told them, no, it came from the Minister of Environment, which they pushed through. I tell them this thing, the $1 billion can only be by way of a grant, but it cannot come directly to the ministry because under the PFM Act, Section 47, it can only go through the National Treasury. They are trying to avoid that money going to the National Treasury, and it's money coming from abroad.
Right.
I mean,
you're being asked to sign in an airport.
I'm being told to sign at Dubai airport, and there's William Ruto calling me directly. You know, I'm telling you. But anyway, maybe I could. Let me say this.
No, finish.
Let me say this. I think it's a very unfortunate situation for the country that we have William Ruto sitting in the office as president of Kenya.
Central to Muturi's explosive interview is a Sheikh $129 billion deal that was allegedly in the works during the COP28 climate summit in Dubai. This agreement, purportedly involving Russian investors and a massive tree planting initiative in Kenya, raises serious red flags according to the former cabinet secretary. Muturi claims that President Ruto pressured him to swiftly approve the deal, bypassing the stringent legal and procedural safeguards that govern such substantial financial commitments. According to Muturi, the alarm bells began ringing when he was urged to sign the deal documents at the Dubai airport. This unusual request, coupled with the sheer magnitude of the funds involved, immediately aroused his suspicions. He asserts that he refused to be rushed into signing off on a deal that lacked transparency and bypassed the necessary scrutiny. The Public Finance Management (PFM) Act, specifically Section 47, mandates that all public funds must be channeled through the Treasury, a crucial safeguard that Muturi insists was being disregarded in this instance. Muturi's refusal to sign the deal in Dubai, citing legal and procedural concerns, appears to have been the catalyst for a rift between him and the president. He maintains that his primary concern was ensuring that the proposed investment, while seemingly aligned with Kenya's environmental goals, adhered to the highest standards of financial probity. The urgency with which the deal was being pushed, coupled with the alleged pressure to circumvent established financial protocols, raised serious questions about its legitimacy. The Shah $129 billion question, as it has come to be known, shines a light on the opaque world of high-level financial dealings and the potential for abuse. Muturi's account, if true, exposes a system where immense sums of money can be moved with alarming ease, bypassing the very mechanisms designed to ensure accountability and transparency. The former cabinet secretary's refusal to be party to such an arrangement speaks volumes about his commitment to upholding the rule of law, even when facing pressure from the highest office in the land.
And you know, we have too many examples to give. And
you knew this before you were. Did you know this before you were fired? Wouldn't this information have been helpful to the people of Kenya if we knew it before?
Like I said, I am a gentleman, and I was going to. In fact, somebody talked about a book. It's a book. The book is already in the works. I started immediately. I left. You know, actually, just before I left Parliament as Speaker, that's when I began working on it. Then, now that we went into campaigns, I stopped a bit, and then I said, "Oh, why don't I just wait and finish my experience in the cabinet.
Before you do an expose.
No.
Is it a book?
To give my, this so that the book also includes my experience in the cabinet.
The Shea 129 billion Dubai deal isn't the only instance where Muturi has raised concerns about President Ruto's financial dealings. The former cabinet secretary also linked the president to the infamous Error and Kimwarer Dam projects, a scandal that has haunted Kenyan politics for years. These projects, initially touted as game changers for the arid regions they were intended to serve, quickly descended into a quagmire of corruption allegations, with billions of shillings vanishing into thin air. Muturi alleges that despite the controversies surrounding Error and Kimwarer, President Ruto continued to push for the projects. He claims that he was pressured to sign off on disbursements, despite glaring discrepancies in cost estimates and a lack of tangible progress on the ground. Of particular concern to Muturi was the Kimwarer Dam project, which seemed to be progressing based on a faulty geological report. Muturi's claims about Error and Kimwarer echo the findings of numerous audits and investigations that have plagued these projects. These investigations uncovered a litany of irregularities, including inflated contracts, payments for work not done, and the involvement of shadowy figures who seemingly profited immensely from the project's misfortunes. The dams stand as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked corruption, leaving a trail of broken promises and wasted resources. By linking President Ruto to these past scandals, Muturi is attempting to establish a pattern of behavior. He is suggesting that the alleged attempt to push through the Shea 129 billion Dubai deal is not an isolated incident, but rather indicative of a deeper disregard for financial probity. The echoes of Error and Kimwarer serve as a potent reminder of the high cost of corruption, a cost that Kenya can ill afford.
I refuse to sign the very explosive. The Auditor General is going to come up with a report on Arol, Kimwarer, and Itare dams. Because it's only Italian dam where those Italian contractors are done 26%. Arol, they contract those Italians, and they were paying billions. They only put in a container. In Kimwarer, nothing has ever happened because even the report that came, it has a faults underneath. You can't do it. You can't do the dam there. So remember, he has been doing those things, meetings with the Italian Prime Minister, the President. On 3 occasions, I was invited to accompany the team, but I ran the files, and I just felt, no, it's not possible. And then, Head of Public Service writes to me a letter that the delegation which is going to go there is going to be led by Adil Kawanja, which is one of those very close friends of the President, the chairman of Safaricom Limited. And then the then DPP, Nurdin Haji, and the former Solicitor General. I assigned some other state councils. I said, what is this? But the country is losing, or has lost actually, over 38 billion shillings. And they still, later they wanted me to sign. I said, I can't. I cannot append my signature, not on this.
Can you substantiate all of these allegations that you're making?
Fortunately, I have them on record.
You have paper trail? I
have paper trail. You know, I knew what I was doing. Contrary to what William Ruto may have thought, I am not the kind of person that I keep records. Right. And I have all of them. In fact, on soft.
Okay. As Gabi is saying here, invite him another time because I can't even work. I'm just listening to him explain things. We have about 10 minutes. Mariam, there was a question about... Oh, sorry, you're going to ask something.
No, it's just the level of rot that you're exposing is quite high level. It's deep-rooted, deep-seated. Some people would be, you are privy to it. It's only now from the outside that it's a problem.
Yeah, he said it's because he's a gentleman.
Yes, and you said it's because you're a gentleman, but it's hard not to
question.
Yeah.
But you know, like now that one, a role.
Yeah.
You know, it is so obvious the Auditor General is going to find out. That's the appropriate office.
Yes.
But because I'm sure the Auditor General is going to ask what was the opinion of the Attorney General.
But were you also, didn't you advise around taxes and SHA? Were you part of, in a sense, the rot that you're exposing?
Let me tell you about this, not just SHA, the 4 laws. when the cabinet memo was brought to us, one morning we were in Kakamega State Lodge for a cabinet meeting by Nakumicha. She brought me like this. I told her, what is this? I cannot sign a cabinet memo just like this. This is not the way to go about it. She told me, CS National Treasurer has already signed. I said, it doesn't matter. She ran to the president, who was then with his deputy Rigiji at Kakamega State Lodge. Then they called me, and I go and I tell them, we cannot do cabinet memos this way. The cabinet, even the cabinet secretary, even the AG, it's not just the AG, it is the office. There are people, and I told you, various departments who have to check through. And there's a lot of consultation. Occasionally, you will sit about 3, 4, 5 people, and I want to know, why did you arrive at this? Why did you yourself, why is it you prefer this? So that we come up with sound legal advice. Now, I'm told, sign. So when she went and reported the president and his deputy, I told them, no, you know what? I can't sign. The president played with me, he told me, JB, we promised people universal health coverage, what. I said, yeah, I am sympathetic to that, because for me, it's good for the citizens of this country. But I told him, but this procedure is not right. And besides, I've seen something that purports to be draft bills. If I'm going to agree to sign the CAB memo, these draft bills must be forwarded to me as Attorney General to review them with clear drafting instructions as what it is each bill hopes to achieve. That's 2 weeks ago. When this is the process of interviewing chairperson for the IEBC, there's a lady who actually admitted. She's called, she said her name, Wajiko Manegene, one of the candidates. She admitted, you can check, that she says among the consultants she has done with government, is that she is part of the team that drafted the health laws. And she was asked, then you drafted. She said, yes. And after that, where did you take them? We took them to Parliament. Took this, for me, it came as a surprise, because I was going I was still going to reveal to the world that I never took part. But she actually did it for me. That I kept telling people, those bills did not come through the AG's office. Because remember, even the Council of Governors and a lot of issues with them. And that also some of the things I was pointing out to the president and his deputy then at Kakamega.
Is this evidence you're willing to share?
Yeah.
About the not
about some of the several views you've held.
Yeah.
And any of the allegations, you can share them with us.
Like which one? Now that one, that one, I don't even have to, because
some of it, like the Kakamega one, for example. Can you share that?
You see that one? It is those bills. Okay. They never came through the office of the Attorney General. And we have a fully fledged legislative drafting department of highly competent Kenyans. Some of them 20, 30 years experience in legislative drafting. Very, very highly regarded even within the Commonwealth. But people want to bypass that because of, of course, partisan vested interests. No wonder later we come to hear about 104 billion project.
Are there people in cabinet who share the same views that you share, and they're currently in cabinet right now?
I don't know.
You must know.
Many of them are very timid. They will not want to. They don't want to speak. In fact, some of them don't want to pick my calls, even on WhatsApp. They are too scared. Many of the cabinet secretaries who are there, they don't want to pick my calls even on WhatsApp. They are too scared that they might be found to have spoken to me. And I know some others who are telling me, please, just get somebody to call.
On your behalf.
On your behalf, then we can talk on the other. So what does that tell you? William Ruto has instilled such fear in the entire cabinet that people don't want to speak. And no, it is live and let live.
Justin Muturi's allegations against President Ruto extend beyond specific financial dealings. They strike at the very core of the president's fitness to lead. Muturi, in his no-holds-barred interview, declared Ruto unfit to be president, citing what he describes as dual personalities and a deeply ingrained culture of corruption. This is a damning indictment from a man who once worked closely with the president, suggesting a profound disillusionment with the man now at the helm of power. Muturi's public pronouncements have not been met with silence. His dismissal from the cabinet, coming shortly after he began voicing his concerns, has been interpreted by some as an attempt to silence him. However, he remains defiant, insisting that his revelations are not driven by a personal vendetta, but rather a commitment to exposing the truth. He maintains that he possesses documentary evidence to support his claims, evidence that he intends to make public in due course. Adding further weight to his claims, Muturi has revealed his intention to pen a tell-all book detailing his experiences in public service. This book, he promises, will provide a first-hand account of the inner workings of government, shedding light on the alleged corruption that he claims is rampant within. It is a move that is sure to generate considerable interest, potentially offering an unprecedented glimpse into the often murky world of Kenyan politics. Justin Muturi's decision to break ranks and expose what he believes to be widespread corruption within the government is a courageous one. Whether his actions will lead to meaningful change or be swept under the rug remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: his explosive allegations have opened a Pandora's box, forcing Kenyans to confront uncomfortable truths about their leaders and the systems of power that govern their lives. The road ahead promises to be rocky, but Muturi's stand serves as a powerful reminder that speaking truth to power, regardless of the consequences, is a duty that must be upheld.